So to understand how this could work, I'm joined now by Kris Brown. She's the president of the Brady United Against Gun Violence. Kris, nice to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Nice to see you, Chuck.
So, first of all, why do we think this is constitutional?
Well, because the Congress has passed the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which says specifically that ATF has to issue a rule to basically close what we call the gun show loophole and the internet sale loophole. And that's precisely what ATF has done. So they're not advancing this regulation in the absence of congressional authority to do so.
You're arguing that the Congress did give them this authority.
Absolutely.
Told them to write a rule. Now, this is subject. There's going to be a lawsuit because that's how this world works. Are you confident that it's going to be upheld?
Yes, I am confident, because they're very focused in this rule on exactly what Congress said, which is we want to ensure that any dealer making a profit off the sale of firearms is regulated as a federally licensed firearms dealer, no matter where they're selling, over the internet or at gun shows. And that's exactly
basically, those are the two places. You're not targeting the person who's selling a shotgun to their neighbor.
No.
Right?
I would like Congress to provide the authority for universal background checks.
But that is not what you believe this rule.
But that is not covered by this rule.
Okay. This is specifically, basically, there's two bigger gaps here, which is gun shows themselves, all right, and internet. Let's talk about enforcement.
Yes.
Because you tell me, why I'm being a cynic here. Is this really going to get enforced?
Absolutely.
What does enforcement look like?
So enforcement here looks like any other regime under all of our laws. We were just talking at the break, Chuck. We have speed limits across this country, and how are those enforced? Randomly, by ensuring that there's a police officer who's noting you, or radar, etc. Here we have gun shows, thousands of them that have proliferated, and we have internet sales of guns. So ATF and, in some cases, state and local police with authority need to monitor the sales that are happening there and ensure that every single person subject to this rule, which, by the way, ATF estimates that will be between 30,000 and 300,000 entities now operating with no license at all.
And this is mostly
subject
online?
to the rule.
This is mostly an online phenomenon?
It is some online, but it's mostly gun shows. And let's keep this in mind. The Brady law passed 30 years ago, applied to federally licensed firearms dealers because there was no internet and gun shows were not big business. They are today, and it is estimated that 1 in 5 gun sales is happening with no background check at all, because those entities are not subject to a rule like this.
So is ATF going to play a proactive role at gun shows? Are they going to actually show up and say, hey, if you're making a sale, then, you can use our system here to quickly do the background check?
They're not going to do that. But certainly if sales are happening, and that's not just the ATF, the state police can do this too, where there is no background check happening, and it should be happening, which is basically anyone who sets up a vending system at a gun show is probably selling more than one gun, Chuck, or else they wouldn't be there.
So you suspect that in order to have enforcement work, you may have just straw buyers that will, in the same way you check for, are you carding people to make sure they don't drink? You're not serving underage people. Same type of thing. Could be just an undercover agent.
Yes, exactly.
And what about online? That seems to be a little bit harder. Do you same thing, straw, the way the FBI might try to deal with a potential terrorist?
I think certainly the potential is there for that kind of enforcement. What we don't want, Chuck, is for us to be representing victims of gun violence suing Arms List. Brady has 2 pending cases against Arms List because someone who was a prohibited purchaser went on Arms List, bought the firearm with no background check. Once someone is dead, our role is not to try to bring litigation after that. We would much rather see the enforcement happen beforehand. So, yes, I would encourage that to happen.
All right. Kris Brown, we'll be watching to see if this rule is enforced the way you described, because if it's the way you described, it looks like it could be very effective.
Yes, I hope so.
All right. Thanks for coming in.
Thank
you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.